5 Forgotten Empires You Never Learned About. 1. The Mitanni Kingdom was in northern Mesopotamia and hit its stride. Between 1500 and 1300 BCE, they were experts in horse training and chariot warfare. So much so that the Hittites to the west snatched Mitanni chariots and horses as war prizes after battles. Their influence was huge. Hittite king Hittite III even married a Mitanni princess. The Egyptians also took note of these talented horsemen, adding Mitanni captives to their army, especially in Ramesses II's forces, which had plenty of Mitanni chariots. Eventually, the Assyrian Empire absorbed the Mitanni around 1200 BC, but their legacy definitely lived on. 2. The Srivijaya Empire was something special. While most empires were built on land, this one thrived on the sea around Sumatra, Indonesia. From the 7th to the 13th century CE. At its height, Srivijaya controlled crucial trade routes through the Malacca Strait, raking in wealth. It became a major stop for Buddhist pilgrims from China, India, and beyond, who were on their way to Mecca. Notably, the famous monk Xuanzang shared detailed accounts of this empire that we still have today. Sadly, the Srivijaya Empire eventually faded as the Majapahit Empire in Java grew stronger, but what a ride it had. 3. The Lydian Kingdom was an ancient state in western Anatolia. Thriving from 1200 BC to 546 BC, these folks were pretty sophisticated and loved their luxuries, even inventing the world's first coins. Can you believe it? Before the Greeks, the Lydians were stamping metal for currency. The most famous Lydian, King Croesus, ruled from 560 to 546 BC, and was so wealthy that we still say riches Croesus. But, sadly, his riches didn't last. In 546 BC, Cyrus the Great of Persia conquered Lydia, using their own coins to pay his soldiers. 4. The Majapahit Empire. While Srivijaya dominated the sea, the Majapahit Empire was busy establishing its own power in the region. Centered in Java, Indonesia, the Majapahit Empire ruled over much of maritime Southeast Asia. From 1293 to 1527 CE, known for its powerful navy, sophisticated culture, and impressive monuments like the Temple of Prambanan, it was one of the most influential empires in the region. In fact, Majapahit's power was such that it rivaled that of Srivijaya, and its influence can still be seen in the art and architecture of later Indonesian kingdoms. 5. The Parthian Empire, often overlooked next to the Greeks and Romans, was a powerhouse in its own right. This Iranian empire thrived from 247 BCE to 224 CE, dominating trade along the Silk Road. But they weren't just traders. They were fierce warriors, clashing with Roman armies regularly. The Romans even had to come up with a tactic called the Parthian shot. Parthian horse archers would shoot at the Romans while retreating, always slipping away. To counter this, Romans pretended to retreat, then turned to surprise the Parthians. Even though they lost some battles, the Parthians outlasted Rome, paving the way for the later Sassanid Empire. Which forgotten empire intrigues you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Catch you later.